And would you look at that, we're back for Twif for the 4th consecutive week, uncharted waters. And before we get started, it's an announcement you may not know, it's the 100th video on this channel. So yeah, thanks for the 100 videos. Let's get into this week's Twif. So across the world and the Premier League, clubs like Liverpool and Chelsea have been showing solidarity for the Black Lives Matter movement after the incident in Minneapolis a week ago on Monday. I just want to add, in no way, shape or form do I condone the acts from the police in Minneapolis a week ago on Monday, and thoughts and prayers with the family and close friends of George Floyd. Now over in Germany, Düsseldorf became the latest team to be thrashed by Bayern, and Jadon Sancho's facing disciplinary action after he got a haircut. He did look a bit off the rails, I think it's fair to say, before he got to the fresh trim. But it does seem a bit silly that he could get a fine and maybe even a game ban for it. Other notable scores include 4-1 Mönchengladbach against Union Berlin, Dortmund beating Paderborn 6-1, and a big result at the bottom with Bremen beating Schalke 1-0, which means David Wagner's under even more pressure. It's that time of the show where we look at something random in football. This week's example is some lads trying to get their ball back out of a ditch in a very unconventional way, it can be said, using the goal frame to retrieve their ball.
About it. Nobody and nobody's place is safe in this team. Alright? Nobody's place. I've got a kid there, and I've got a kid there, and the day.
Steve Bracknell's Sunday League continues to be the greatest ever creation. But now it's time for the Gilpini FC Transfer Centre. Our first story comes from Chelsea and Timo Werner, who appear to have agreed a £45 million deal for the German to link up with Chelsea later this summer. Tottenham are waiting for Jan Vertonghen to decide whether he will see out the rest of the season or leave the club before it is completed. The Belgian has been at Spurs for a long time now. And finally, Ben Chilwell is tempted by a move to Chelsea, but has not yet asked Leicester if he can leave the club. In other news, Riyad Mahrez has been burgled. It's been speculated that about £500,000 worth of items were stolen from his Manchester apartment, including 3 luxury wrist pieces of watches. And finally, Mr. Tree himself, Jaden Stockley, has caught COVID, which is not good at all. It was the first test at Preston that came back positive. Since then, another one's come back positive, but the club haven't disclosed who it is. It also comes out of the resumed contact training as the test came back positive, which is worrying, but we'll have to see how that goes. Alright, so yeah, that's it for this week's Twif. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed, if you want to. Yeah, see ya. This is a shambles.